friends to the Beaver Dam. Welcome, friends, to the Beaver Dam, and we are going to have a damn good time doing some roster reviews. I am going to do just a little bit of territory battles while I have you guys captured for a moment, but we are going to open up roster reviews, and while you guys sign up, I will do a little bit of territory battle. But welcome, everyone. How is everyone doing? Let me get this Discord link out and about. That stream. Okay, and I will open up for roster reviews here in just a moment. So basically, for those of you who don't know how roster reviews work, we do them through Discord. If you want a free roster review, that is the best way to do it. I'm a little so our priority of roster reviews is essentially, first priority is our $10 members or above. They get a roster review each month for live roster review or a private roster review or just a priority roster review, whatever you end up having time for and want. Then below that is anyone that super chats, and then below that is anyone that signs up in the Discord after I put the message saying roster reviews live now inside the roster review section on the Discord, and then chat. And typically we don't usually get to chat. So are you with the tornadoes right now? I don't know what you mean by tornadoes, like an actual tornado? I am not in an area where tornadoes are common. Okay, that's a little bit better, but I'm still a little bright. There we go. Now I'm not glitching out when I show my paler than pale arms. Okay. Oh, we are having a damn good time, Heinrich, or you're here. We're always having a damn good time when you're here. Hey, Iron Eyes, good to see you, my friend. At what roster GP should a player consider an R9 for the Dead Bros? Okay, for the Remnant. I would honestly say any time is not a bad time, but I would make sure you at least have your first GL and your first GL ship before I'd consider it. That was a weird glitch. But like honestly, with those guys, it's just wherever you can fit them, honestly, because like with the heroes, or not the heroes, the Queen's Men makes it difficult because, you know, you want to get them but you don't really have a home to get them in. But with the Imperial Remnant, you're making a team that you can utilize. Either way, I honestly don't think, unless you're like over, I'm going to say over like 8 million GP, I don't think you should Relic 9 them. I think getting them up to Relic 7 is a great idea. I think getting your Imperial Remnant and your Queen's Men up to Relic 7 is a great idea. But, like, you don't need the Relic 9s almost at all. Like, naturally, just from what, getting into the guild that I have and everything, I still have, like, I just Relic 9'd Darth Revan, right? Like, just did it this week, and I still have enough droid brains for 3 more Relic 9s. Like, and that's after doing Ahsoka as my last major farm. Like, it's not like you need a ton of Relic 9s in the early game, and so getting that Relic 9 is just going to be expensive to you, and it's not actually going to benefit you that much, in my opinion. So, honestly, if you want to, sure, but you're not going to have the signal data and the other stuff to really benefit from those Relic 9s. It's better to focus on getting your next farm done and that type of thing. And you get a lot of value out of the Relic 7 on those, and you can just leave them at Relic 7, and then when you have the time, you can take them up to Relic 9. When you start becoming more pertinent, the Relic 9s need to be prevalent in your roster. Maybe that's when CG makes Relic 9 more important, or that's when you hit over 8 million to 10 million area where you're starting to get into farms where you might need more Relic 9s, and you're starting to do luxury Relic 9s where you're like, oh, I like this character, I'm going to Relic 9 them. JML, I'm going to Relic 9 him. That type of stuff. So I honestly think it's like getting the assault battle characters, great. I think getting him to Relic 7 is fantastic. I think rushing him to Relic 9 is not really strictly necessary. I think bringing him up to Relic 7 is really all you need. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not in that area, so we'll go Overlord. Nice, Iron Eyes. They're gonna drop the Lightspeed bundle for him next week. Watch. It's gonna be hilarious. You're going to literally, you're gonna unlock him, and then they're gonna drop the Lightspeed bundle for him. It's left over from the last stream we did. We did a sub-only stream where we played Jedi Power Battles with Nexus, our artist. So, if you want to watch that, go become a member on YouTube or a subscriber on Twitch. If you're going to do Twitch, make sure you do it within the next 2 weeks, because streams do get deleted over on Twitch. So. Already 10 million, looking for more rote teams, so can I have your blessing to Relic 9 them for more combat missions? Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be fantastic, but like, they're going to get you more Relic 9s that will bring you into other places with that. So yeah, I'm going to say sure. If you're over 10 million and you have a Jabba in your account, I'm going to say go for it. Absolutely go for it. They're on my list. The Queen's Men are on my list to get up to Relic 7 here in the next little bit. I'm going to get the Leviathan done, and then I'm going to finish them, and, get my Quad Bay team going. I already have the Peridia Patrol, the Paw Patrol, up at Relic 7, and so, I don't have to worry about that one. I'm thinking about Relic Knighting them soon-ish. Basically, my next two Relic 9s. My next 2 Relic 9s are for Leviathan and Profundity, and then after that, I'm going to start dumping my Relic 9s into those Assault Battle characters, because I'll be done with all of my requirement Relic 9. So yeah, at that point, you're over 10 million GP. I think you can afford it 100%, especially if you have your Jabba. And if you don't have a Jabba and you're over 10 million GP, I'd question your decision making at that point. Hey, Storm Pooper, welcome, my friend. It's because Pretty Pals could be abbreviated to PP. Hey, that's a great justification. I love it. You unlock DTMG in 4 Proving Grounds? I mean, you want to see my DTMG? Let's see. He would be... What is their thing? Imperial Remnant. That's right. There he is, guys. His beautiful cat ears. He's still sitting here at Gear 3. One of these days, I'll actually take him up, and it's probably going to be when they actually add enough characters that this faction can be built outwards. All these relics feel so bad. I disagree, Iron Eyes. of all the GLs, Lord Vader has some of my favorite characters to relic. Like, you're relicking up gas, you're relicking up, like, you know, the 501st, you're relicking up Bad Batch. Like, none of the characters necessarily feel bad. It's just that the end result kind of sucks. That's the problem to me. I actually love the requirements for Lord Vader. Can I have some congrats finally unlocking Hard Conquest? Absolutely. Congratulations, my friend. Are you gonna put the final Zeta on JML? It is so far down my list. Yes. Eventually, yes. But here's the thing. This attack will critically hit if able and can't be countered, is what this Zeta does. Now, with JML, if JML ever uses his basic, I'm calling him to assist using Jedi Lessons or whatever it's called. Which means it's an assist, so it can't be countered anyways, and it deals 90% less damage, and so that critical hit really doesn't do anything because all your damage is true damage. And so this, to me, is one of the most worthless Zetas. There's a lot on my list before this, but eventually, yes, I will put the last Zeta on JML. Someone said I have to make my Admiral Piet my first Relic 9. Yeah, it's if that person was me, it's a smart me. I mean, wants to Wonga. If it's a peepee, it's a peepee, dude. Hey, Apple E, welcome, welcome. Crit kind of help versus Ray. I guess. I hate JML versus Ray. It is such a low win rate, and especially in the current meta with the Hermit Ezra in the meta, it's just, it doesn't do anything. You can't critically hit Hermit Ezra. You know, you can't hit you can't critically hit. You can't insta kill Hermit Ezra. You can't insta kill Ben, and so like you're kind of sitting there screwed. And yeah, if you're using JML versus Ray, you're in dire straits already. So that sounds like a video, Swogo Overlord, that I'll make at some point. The number one obviously is JML. JML's the number one Relic 9 in the game for outside of requirements. That and Piet. Those are my top two that are just immediate Relic 9s. Yeah, sounds good, Fogley. You're on my team in the GAC bracket. Sick. Yeah, I actually locked in with some good stuff. I got some good things going. AKA, I Relic 9'd my Darth Revan this week, so my Darth Revan's gonna be a little bit more chonky. We also got ourselves a Relic 7 Darth Malak, from our Relic 5 Darth Malak that we had last week. Additionally, we also got another Zeta and another Omicron onto Malakos. And so our Malakos will do a lot more this week. Our Darth Revan mission Zalbar is going to do really well. Like overall, we're looking pretty fire for an upgrade between last week and this week. As for like Leviathan, I'm pushing hard for Leviathan, and I'm getting real close, guys. I'm getting real close. I despise the fleet meta still. It's still awful. The fact that in my fleets right now, this is my defense, because I have to bring everything on offense, otherwise I can't clear fleets, I think is stupid. I think this is as bad as the great nerf of 2021, but for fleets. Like, they completely destroyed the fleet meta. There's no longer off-meta counters almost at all. And any off-meta counters that you do have are like a 60% win rate is what it feels like every single time. Even like using Executor against Leviathan or Executor against a mirror match are both just awful now. I hate the fleet meta. It's the one thing that's really killing me in this game and making it hard for me to play. And that's surprising, because there's never really been a point where I've I've struggled to play this game, even when it was at its worst, where, you know, free to play was awful in my first year back in 2021. Like, yeah, I was getting to level 85. It took me forever to get to level 85. Everything was single drop for gear, and so like getting the gear up to get Darth Revan was a pain in the butt. You know, the raid changes hadn't happened. Even then, I didn't struggle as much to play the game as I have for lately for GAC, and that's worrisome, because I used to love fleets. Fleets was like my jam. One of my favorite battles in this game is Finalizer versus Executor. It has a whole bunch of, like, you have to pay attention and you have to be, you know what you're doing, and now it's just, you were like, you know what, there's not a reason to farm SLKR anymore. I'm like, that's just stupid. Crosshair kit reveal dropped. I heard, I haven't read it yet. If you guys want me to read it on stream, I will. But like, you don't really do kit reveal videos. The only person that can do kit reveal videos is Arnold, and even then, Arnold doesn't get the best views on them. They're not a super popular thing. Most other games, news is a big thing, but on YouTube for us content creators for this game, it's just not a thing. And, you know, anyone that does want to watch that kind of thing just watches Arnold's video. If I ever find a way to spin it better, that I can make it more entertaining to you guys and something that you guys will enjoy, then, like, yeah, I'll go and make those videos. But like, at current moment, it's not really something that most people are interested in, and it's just another video of me going through it. Welcome, Aromax. Good to see you, my friend. What are my Darth Revan mods looking like? I mean, my Mission and Zalbar mods are pretty garbage, but my Darth Revan's not bad. I mean, he's what, 323? So he, like, I'd say he's kind of in that good spot. I haven't even checked what the primaries are in years, though. Offense, crit damage, yeah. Like, honestly, not bad mods for mods I haven't checked in probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Terrible metal for anyone without Leviathan. Exactly why I'm getting Leviathan right now. How healthy is Doctor? You know, he's pretty healthy. I don't know. What is that? 160, about 162,000 total between the two. GAC tournament name Beaver. I don't know. I haven't looked at any of the names. Let's take a look at them. Next Damathon win, is that our team? Inglorious Blasters. I love these names, guys. I have no idea how to say that. Bucky's Beaver Nuggets? Is that what I'm reading right there? Envy of the Empire and the Sith Conclave. Hey, Graphical, why are you over on YouTube today? It's not often I see you over on YouTube. I'd argue to make him healthier and beefier. I don't know. He's an attacker. He doesn't really get a whole lot of beefiness in general. We could up his beefiness, but like, I feel like it would take away from his damage. I don't know. We'll see. If the meta starts pushing that direction with the new Omicron, then maybe. But I don't know. This era has been hella boring. I mean, yeah, there's nothing going on. So, yeah. Crosshair's the first character that might benefit from an accuracy arrow. Hey, I mean, it makes sense, right? Non-Keljohn, welcome to the damn community, my friend.
We would be honored if you would join
and
us.
Graphical coming with the Prime sub. Thank you, my friend. 3 months in the dam. Beautiful. I usually use Mandalorians. Not you. And then I used for my 5th. This is such a stupid team, but I don't technically need Rey, and so I use this team because why not, right? It just guarantees that basically I can't lose. I'm like a month from the silver. Damn. You just need to be gifted another membership. Oh, is it 7 sub only? That's my bad. Hold on, let me fix that. Thank you for catching that. There. Whoever followed, I apologize. Non-Caljon, I apologize. You can now chat now. How you doing? What am I going to send out the Discord ping? I will send it out right now while I'm doing this. Sorry, we're just kind of catching up on chat right now. Roster reviews. I think we'll make a new channel in the Discord saying how to get a roster review, just so that way people can actually know how that works coming in. Because no one looks at the pinned comment, obviously. Okay, roster reviews are live. Oh, speaking of Apple getting a membership, it's a new month. Sick.
We would be honored.
Oh, Darcelia coming in with the sub. That is 8 months of subbing on Twitch. That is amazing, Celia. I need to make sure that I have all of my stuff on Twitch. I don't know if I have my like 2-year one, but like, to be fair, we haven't been streaming on Twitch for 2 years yet, so it doesn't matter as much, but definitely something I need to go and check and make sure. We have a bounty for Caleb Wheeler. Humble 1.5 mil GP, only recently dug into mods. Hey, dude, if you're digging into mods at 1.5 mil GP, that sounds great to me. That's better than a lot of people in this game. Heck yeah, dude. Well, yeah, 1.5 mil GP, that's respectable. That's, you know, you're solidly into your first farm. Yeah, it is like dropping a nuke. You are not wrong. Hey Beaver, is there a new game to download play this month? I haven't been able to take the time to check. I've been really, I don't know if busy's the right word, but busy adjacent. Trying to get everything kind of fixed up and ready to go. Like, dealing with the new PC setup has been really rough, and like it's still only partially built technically, and so I've been having to watch markets and stuff. And yeah, I've been having some fun stuff with my raid sponsorship and trying to deal with that stuff. So it's been a fun time. And so yeah, I will check to see if there's any good ones currently, and we'll see if we can't get one started, because it definitely helps me out, and I don't want to miss out on that as much as possible. What's going on in the dam? We are having a damn good time now that you're here, Karsk. That's what's happening. For Proving Grounds, I've been doing Gas Team plus JMK as a 5th. That is such a, like, I don't know, that feels like a Jar Jar mask. Okay. Bane in 15 months. Heck yeah, Drill. Yeah, Gas and JMK, like, yes, that works for Proving Grounds. You are correct. That is a Proving Grounds team. In fact, it was one of the only ways to do the, I believe, the Inquisitor one, when it first came out before they nerfed it. But it's just such an inaccessible set of characters to almost everyone. Like, when Arnold made that video, it was like, oh, you just use this to beat it. I was like, okay, but like, who doesn't have the TIE Interceptor but has these? Like, I don't know. Like, that's such an odd farming path. I'm not worried. You guys can solo, or you can auto this from here on out. Come on, auto. Good to see you, Tyler. Welcome. Hey, Armiser, Astro, good to see you guys. Dude, I 100% agree, Karsk. That is like something that I am begging for. I was so hoping that we'd get a pre-Vizsla because they were making such a big deal about making a Trench team and making Trench a viable character, you know, giving us Bane to replace Wat Tambor. Like, they were doing all this stuff to try and like make Trench have a team. And we figured it was leading up to the new Trench capital ship and giving us a reason to farm him up. And then, you know, they just kind of abandoned the project. And I was really hoping they'd drop, when Mandalore was coming out, they'd drop pre-Vizsla, and then it would replace Django, so Django can go back to Trench, and, like, give us a full Dark Side Mandalorian team. And I would have loved that so much, but unfortunately, here we are. Still no new Rote character, so... Not gonna lie, anyone else feel a bit disappointed in Bane outside of Gak? I mean, he still beats, what, like 4 or 5 GLs outside of Gak? I wouldn't say I'm disappointed in him by any means. Like, I'm more disappointed in something like Malicos or Starkiller, where they don't really do much outside of their home game mode. Next to is First Order with, we'll drop in Vader. Honestly, let's just keep the taunt from going around. Try to get a full set of ability blocks out there. Okay, we're gonna hit this, see if we can't get an ability block. Nope, no such luck. We're just not landing any of our ability blocks. What are we looking like for turn meter? He's gonna be next. Ability block? Oh, sick. That was great. Honestly, yeah, just jump into ultimate. Okay, let me grab the Jar Jar mask because you redeemed a Jar Jar mask graphic. Did we get the community event awards yet? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it'll take like at least another 2 weeks before they show up. Chicken, pineapple pizza, smash or pass. I have never had chicken and pineapple together on a pizza, but I do like a good Hawaiian, especially on garlic ranch instead of marinara sauce. It's one of my favorite ones. Extra cheese, Hawaiian, with garlic ranch. Ooh, yes, a new Cassian unit would be amazing. Okay, we're gonna do this real quick.
Ooh, I love you. Got us killed. Brainless? I expect.
The rest of this battle, I have to wear this.
No, Mr.
Oh gosh, where's my mouse?
Mr. Conchata.
It's the sound of 1,000 terrible things heading this way. Your gods demand that his life belongs to me.
Be gone with him!
I don't know if Rey really needs a lifter. C still needs a lifter, but I don't know if Rey really needs a lifter.
We shall make you bombard, General.
Dirge would be dope. When it's their turn. I mean, I don't know where we'd put it where it wouldn't be in the way is the problem. Heinricher. One v one mission for Mandalorian Road where you need a Relic 9 Maul to get free Visla. Oh gosh. Hey Tim, good to see you, my friend. Hey Alex, good to see you over on Twitch. Snoke instead of Dark Ray for SLKR lifter. Yeah, I was kind of hoping the same. Ben Solo Fallen. I mean, isn't Ben Solo Fallen just Kylo Ren? Acklay. What team do I use for Acklay? Anyone remember what I use for Acklay? Acklay is Inquisitorius. Oh, I'm missing my beautiful Grand Inquisitor. Jabba doesn't need a lifter. You only add a lifter if they're falling out of the meta is the thing. So C and JML are the two that are most in need of a lifter currently. Just because like they have characters that are good, but they don't technically have a straight up lifter. You know, and lifter as defined by CG is a character from Conquest to support a GL. And so there is not currently a lifter for either of those characters. And yeah, they definitely need it. Only one Reva Zeta? Dude, just like everyone else, I'm definitely in that Zeta debt. And I am working my way out. As soon as I finish the Malicos, I'm basically just getting these guys and then I'm caught up. I got my Night Sisters done. Most other teams that I have in my roster are not ones I care to add Zetas to, like Tuskens, for instance. So. Knights of Ren would be dope. All I want is Lord Vader to get Apo. That's all I want. That's it, CG. CG, all I want is Apo. I don't need a full clone team for Lord Vader to lift him up. I just need Apo. Just give me a clone to lift up Lord Vader. Let me use my Maul by himself. Sith Eternal with Sith. Sure. I don't need any of these anywhere else. Yeah. For watching Arnold's stream, I don't even want to use Darkside Ray with SLKR. What did he do? I haven't had time to watch any of his streams lately. What Zetas and Omis are you gonna get on the Inquisitors? I don't know. It depends on how generous I'm feeling towards my guild. I kind of want to get myself the insta-kill Zeta on the Grand Inquisitor, or the insta-kill Omicron. But the territory war, so we'll see. But I'm for sure just dropping everything on Reva. trying to think of what else I'm missing that's like vitally important. Probably everything on Riva and everything on Grand Inquisitor, and then I'll probably stop there. I don't think I necessarily need anything past that. Let's drop that on Bane. Okay, we're gonna avoid trying to kill off him for now. Does this work on him? No. Okay, I figured it wouldn't, but it's worth a try. Use it on yourself. Quadme with crew lead? Oh, heck yeah. That's awesome. Okay, we'll give the good suck to him, and the good suck to him. Good to see you, Boris. I mean, I think that, like, honestly, the Knights of Ren are definitely something that can sell. There's a reason that they try to use them in their marketing for episode 9, and it did get me excited about episode 9, is seeing the Knights of Ren in their marketing, because they're always something that I wanted to see from episode 7. And like, you know, the Star Wars, the traditional Star Wars, formula is give them a cool helmet and they will be an awesome character. It doesn't matter if they're that good inside canon. It doesn't matter if they show up and do a whole lot or they show up and do a whole little. You give them a cool mask and all of a sudden everyone loves them. And so, like, you know, I think they could market the Knights of Ren really well. Snoke, less so. I think it would be more of a mechanics-wise, like if they can, you know, make it so that way I can have a good Sith Eternal, then that's what matters to me. So, if next Damathon wins the tournament, do we get a Damathon? I mean, sure. Raged about the crosshair kit? Is the crosshair kit bad? That'd be hilarious if they made it bad. It's like one of the most anticipated characters of all time. Yeah, Chimera is one that I think a lot of people are really hoping for. Oh, let's get your third stack. And yet, like, there was several books about Boba Fett after episode 6 that, you know, marketed and sold really well. There's, you know, you look at, like, Django. Django got killed, like, instantly. It felt really, like, sudden, and yet he still has comics that are absolutely BA and people love him. Boba was loved from the moment he showed up in a parade and no one knew who he was before episode 5 even came out. Like, it's just always been the thing of give him a helmet, it works. If you could have the ability to have 3 GLs on one team, who would you do? You'd probably have to go with Ray lead. You could do JML, but I would probably want Ray lead with I'd probably do Ray lead with JMK and JML. Leia's not bad, but I've never seen her outside of the leader slot. So maybe Rey. Yeah, I'm gonna say locking in with Rey, Leia, and JMK. Jedi Mara Jade is one that I'm begging for. It really is one that I'm begging for. We have not unlocked Defo, so well, this is the last battle we'll do, and then I'll jump into roster reviews. Here's that other than Bane, every lightsaber using Conquest has always been blue for light side or red for dark side. I mean, that is the OG thing. It's you either get blue or you get red, and then occasionally you do green. That was kind of like the base theory for George Lucas, and it's always been more of a fan thing that caused the other colors to become really a thing. True. They did add Afra to the game, and she's solely a comics character. This team absolutely destroys in territory battles. Yeah, it was because the filming of the Tatooine scenes at the beginning of episode 6 just were not working with the sky in the background, and so they switched to blue for that reason. Or they switched from blue for that reason to green. See, I don't know enough about the comics, honestly. Sana Staros is also a purely comics character, if I recall. And then someone wanted a purple lightsaber. To be fair, even before the purple lightsaber thing, like, people were already doing stuff. Like, the Jedi Power Battles, the game we were playing the other day, with our artist, it came out after episode 1 in the year 2000. And Adi Gallia actually had a red lightsaber in that game. I always thought it was pink as a kid, but apparently as we were looking at the game settings, it's red. The Plo Koon has an orange lightsaber in that game. Mace Windu has a blue lightsaber in that game. It was before episode 2. But yeah. No, it's the same kind of idea madness as George Lucas's particularness about everything and being a weirdo and being like, oh, it needs to follow a certain way of me doing things. Well, the same sense as, oh, I can't, you know, I can't be fine with it being called Korriban because it starts the same as Coruscant, and you can't have the good guys and the bad guys sound like they come from similar places. Like, it's just little things that bug him for some reason, and so he changes them, or he holds to this thing because, like, it just, you know, makes sense to him for some reason. Star Wars tends to have a bad second impression. I mean, I think it's just really hit or miss in a lot of cases. But, like, the reason people like clones is not because, like, it before Clone Wars and everything, the reason people like clones is just because they looked cool. That's it. Like, that was literally it. Because, like, they don't have any personality in episode 2. You don't see anything from them in episode 2. I guess the 2D Clone Wars gives you some stuff, but it's just them being BA. That's it. There's no like personality to them or anything in the 2D Clone Wars. So I don't know. It's just been a common occurrence that just they give someone a helmet and like that gives them their start of, you know, what they are as something that's cool. I do agree that second impressions tend to flop a lot in Star Wars for sure. Like, if Finn coming in the first movie and you're like, ah, I like Finn. And then the second movie, I despise Finn. And I'm like, I don't want to despise Finn because I want him to be the main character of the first movie. You know, just, yeah. And that was what they were trending towards too with all of their ad stuff. Like, they did Finn dirty, dude. They did Finn dirty. If you could make a new Star Killer like event for Swago, if you could make a new Star Killer like legacy character event, got it. For some reason, I would immediately jump to Star Killer base, and I'm like, we haven't had a Star Killer base event. Who would the legendary unit be and the other 4 Legends characters to go with it? I mean, the Legends characters don't necessarily have to have anything to do with the actual one you're going for, because it's just random Legend units. I would probably say I'd want... I don't know. I really love the Old Republic, and so I'd probably want like Satele Shan and Mitra Sturek. I think would be very cool to get in the game. I don't know. I'd have to think about it because most of the characters that I really love are in the game. Or like are on the list of things to be added because they're in new canon. So I mean, Kathleen Kennedy was never going to be fired. It was her resigning, but you know, it was just basically she came out and was like, no, this is a rumor. That's it. Oh, Rook, the Nagri bodyguard for Thrawn. Yeah. Ooh, actually, that would be pretty cool. You bring up Chewbacca's family, and it actually immediately made me think. That would actually be kind of cool. Give me... Ooh... Give me the post-episode 6 special. So give me Jason and Jaina solo. Give me even if they were to give me like dark side Jason solo, that'd be cool. Jason and Jaina solo. Give me a light side Mara Jade. Give me you know, Rook the Nogri. Give me like kind of a Thrawn trilogy and beyond special. I think that'd be really fun to get some post episode 6 content from like the old canon and get some, you know, some stuff like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So if I had to choose like some characters for it, I think I would choose post episode 6 in the old canon because there's a lot of stuff in there that I really enjoyed. Yeah, in the original books, yes, person. Admiral Arlani. Dude, I would absolutely love a Admiral Arlani leading a Chiss fleet. I think that would be so much fun. I would love that. I don't think we'll ever get it, but I would love it. It's definitely up there on my list. Heck yeah, oops, dead. Well, I mean, just like Olive Garden, when you're here in the Beaver Dam, you're family. Scion of Jango, Boba Scion of Jango is used all the way up to Relic 9 in Rote. So like, and it's a large amount of Relic 9s. So like the Relic 6 is purely justified for Rote. Yeah, I recognize the name, and I think I know who you're talking about, Heinricher. I'm not super interested in them either. Prince Zeezer, that's another good pull. Rom Coda, Captain Fordo. I'm not a big fan of Darth Bandon personally, but other ones so solid. Yep, Eli Vanto is one that I've been dying to see. Yeah, I saw yours, so go Overlord. I'm not a big fan of most of the other characters from that game is the problem. Like, I wasn't a big fan of Atten Rand. I thought Visas was an interesting character in it, but we already have that in the game, so. Mando Grogu? Which one of Grogu? Because, I mean, we have IG-12 in Grogu. The lady from Rebels. The lady from Rebels. The lady from Rebels. That's very vague. Hey, T-Dog. Welcome, welcome. Is there a backlog? I don't know. It's not that long of a list, so we'll jump through as many as we can. Darth Barris from SWTOR. That'd be pretty sick. Give us General Garza. Yotter's been begging. Is Captain Enoch Thrawn's translator from Thrawn by Timothy Zahn? The answer is no. He is not. He is a completely different person. No one answered him. I'm gonna say no. No one answer that question beyond saying no. I'm double checking and making sure I don't have to delete any messages. Okay, good. No one's talking about it. The answer is no. Continue reading the trilogy. You guys are calling out a lot of names. I'm just gonna say it. Pong Krell, bro. I'll drop everything to farm Pong Krell. One of the best bad guys in all of Star Wars. I would drop anything for Pong Krell. I would love an Imperial agent, like an ISB faction, led by Colonel Yularen or something like that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Minister Tua? Is that what you're referring to? Yaddle win, yeah. T-Dog, if you want to get a roster review, the best way to do it is to sign up in the Discord. There's a section called roster reviews, and you can sign up there. That is the best way to get it if you're looking for a free roster review. Yeah, I am going to forestall any spoilers, and I'm going to tell you just no, Astro. We don't know who Enoch is. I'm very curious to see who he is, but he is not who you're thinking he is. Boil and Waxer, yeah. I would actually love for like Pong Krell to be a light side Jedi, but he has like a sacrifice mechanic, kind of like Bane or something. Yeah, kind of like GG, exactly. Yeah, Minister Hawk Tua, bro. I despise Jocasta Nu. Worst character ever to exist. Heck yeah, Iron Deer. That's what I like to hear. Dude, there's a cron right now. For those of you who are let's see if this person has any of them. 25% turn meter. 25% turn meter. Dark side. Is it only dark side or is there a light side? This is the older one. Let me check. If there's the light side 15% turn meter one, it is phenomenal. With that team. Dang, there's no light side. There's just dark side. I mean, light side allies starting with 25% turn meter for that team is super nice to get them started. But when that 15% turn meter comes around for light side, it gets so gross so fast, dude. They literally, if they get set off at all, they'll just steamroll your whole team. I've gotten that time we got like 17 holds on Zori. That was the Datacrons that we were using. You're all out of breadsticks. Throw a fit. Fight the manager. We need a tank for Afra just in general, Greyport. You're not wrong. Still have your soup. Which soup did you get? The best one is the gnocchi. The gnocchi is definitely the best one. Secondary, I'd say probably, I don't know. I think it's called the Toscana, the sausage soup. How far am I into SWTOR? Depends on which playthrough you're referring to. Quite a ways and not far at all. Oh, that one's great, dude. The fan film you're referring to, Appley? I love that. Jar Jar is the worst character in Star Wars on lock for decades and has yet to give it up. I don't know. Jocasta still gets it for me. I hate Jocasta more than I don't like Jar Jar. Like, Jar Jar is really not something that I haven't, like, despised since I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was really annoyed by Jar Jar. Nowadays, I don't know. I don't really care for him, but he's not, like, the most annoying thing in the world. Which is funny, because I feel like I should have liked him as a kid, but I despised him as a kid. You got the Toscana? Ah. Second best one. Second best one. Ask for the gnocchi next time. And get a whole bunch of cheese on that gnocchi. Is Zori Omicron a must? No, but it's super nice. Dude, Weak Spot is amazing, Heinricher. I love it. Hates Machine Gun Granny. Yep, exactly. You have a deep hatred of frogs, Farmstar? Is that what I'm hearing here? Jocasta was barely in the movies, barely in the cartoons, and barely in the comics, but every appearance has been absolute garbage. At least we got Jar Jar as a senator and doing things that weren't just absolutely atrocious. You know, we had Jar Jar being somewhat a civilized, sentient being. Jocasta is just abandoned every single one of her ideals and is the perfect example of a prideful, hypocritical Jedi, and exemplifies the worst parts of the Jedi Order. Season 3 of Meta, take the worst characters for me. Hey, Trey, welcome, my friend. The Zori team consists of Finn, Resistance Hero Finn, Resistance Hero Poe, Zori, and Rose Tico. What version of the Revenge of the Sith game were you playing, Madness? Because in the console version, you just straight up stab her through the chest in a cutscene. It's fantastic. Oh, you're talking about Gungans. You're talking about Gungans, Farmstar. I thought you just meant frogs in general. I'm like, that's a wild statement. Just like come in here and just be like, you know, every worst character in Galaxy of Heroes is not nearly as bad as frogs. I'm like, okay. Your hatred of frogs is odd, but okay. Also, canonically, Jar Jar ends up, because he's the one that passes the bill that gives power over to the Empire, he ends up getting shunned out of society and then panhandling on the street throughout the Empire. Like, it's pretty great. It's basically moved fully over to Discord, Trey. We rarely get to things in chat. I would love a Clone Commando faction. I hate how much hate there was for Star Wars Episode 1. It is wild to me, and even back then when the internet was barely anything, people bullied the actor for Anakin and the actor for Jar Jar to the point where the Anakin actor won't go anywhere near Star Wars anymore and got rid of all of his Star Wars stuff. And the actor for Jar Jar, who loves Star Wars, like thought about, offing himself several times because of how awful people were. And that is just never okay. I think that was ridiculous. And like you look at people nowadays and what they can do, and it's like how fast they can respond to things, and the fact that they got that much hate back then versus now, where we have instantaneous communication and we can immediately flame people, like that, untold levels of hate that should not have existed for actors who were doing a part that they were told to do. Hey, Frozen Italiano. We actually have someone over here at Olive Garden watching the stream, so they're eating the food of your people, and it's probably started out frozen as well. Yes, Swaz Frog. It's partly the cause of how much crap entertainment we get now. Yeah, a lot of the problems can be heavily avoided, and they like go out of their way to like avoid the things that can be heavily easily avoided in in like nowadays. So like you'll be watching a show or a movie or something, and like their phone breaks, and you're like, oh, look at that, they had to find some way to get them out of communication so that way they can justify what's going to happen next. Like you see that quite a bit in newer movies for sure. Hey, I don't know, Swats Frog. You go ask Farmstar. It's that guy. I mean, to be fair, Nav's Comics, George Lucas is a terrible director. He came up with a wonderful world. He's a terrible director. He does not correct people when he's directing. He doesn't go through and like coach the actors at all. He's really bad with actors. And so he kind of just keeps filming over and over again until he gets it right, which is why you get stories like, the actor for Boba not knowing how to react and what they're trying to go for, until Ewan McGregor steps in and says, pretend that I just let out the nastiest fart. And then that's the take that works. George Lucas was notorious for being fairly bad at directing actors in general. He's also bad at dialogue and was forced to do a lot of the dialogue for the prequels, which explains why a lot of the dialogue in the prequels is bad. Like he knows that he should market this stuff out quite a bit, and he did a lot of it in the early days with 4, 5, and 6 of marketing out to other people. But as 1, 2, and 3 came out, people wouldn't let him market it out, and it shows. So, but yeah. Because someone donated Beaver so you can read Crosshair's kit. I mean, if I have time, I'll read Crosshair's kit at the end of screen. Like, he was good at directing the scenes that he wanted, getting the shots that he wanted, all that type of stuff. But when you're bad at working with the actors specifically, that can be really rough. And I think that's a big reason why episode 1, 2, and 3 are rough. Like, people love Qui-Gon and how he acts. That's not because George Lucas gave him good acting direction. That's because Liam Neeson's a good actor. A lot of the times when people are shining in the prequel trilogy and the things that George Lucas did, it's usually because they're already good actors themselves, and not necessarily because George Lucas did a great job directing the actors. So oh gosh, Appley. Congratulations, Graphic. That's awesome, my friend. I'll defend Anakin slurring until the bitter end. It was cringe, but it made sense. I will not ever defend the dialogue of Star Wars Episode 2. It is some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard in any movie ever. I just don't defend Episode 2 at all anymore. I don't defend the prequels. Episode 3, I still enjoy to this day. I know a lot of it's nostalgia. Even as a kid, though, I recognized a lot of the problems with Episode 3. Episode 1 and 2, I loved Episode 1 as a kid, and I still go back and watch it. I'm not saying that any of the Star Wars movies are awful. I go back and watch them frequently. I'll watch a Star Wars movie over most other movies 99.9% of the time. But Star Wars Episode 2 is just a train wreck of really bad dialogue and weird pacing, with like things that are important to the overall Star Wars story, but it's a movie that's purely based around what is it called? Why am I blanking on the term? Spectacle. It's purely based on spectacle. Seeing cool guys in armor, having a fight between Obi-Wan and a bounty hunter, this wild chase scene at the beginning, all that type of stuff. It's very much that kind of, it's based around spectacle. The dialogue's not great. It's definitely one of the weaker Star Wars movies. Star Wars Episode 1, I'll admit the story's good in Star Wars Episode 1 if you can tell me what's going on at all. It's just space politics that no one knows what's going on. No one knows why there's a blockade going on. None of this actually matters because all of it's meant to be portrayed as the main story, but really the main story is just getting Anakin into the Star Wars universe. It just doesn't work very well. And so, I don't know. They're movies that, I enjoy. There's a lot of nostalgia involved, but 1 and 2 are some of the worst Star Wars movies, in my opinion.
Hello there.
Darth Plagueis is the wise free to play. Welcome to the Beaver Dam, my friend. When our roster review's gonna start, sorry, dude, we've just kind of been BSing this whole time. We'll start them up here in just a sec. Whenever I see a window, I throw a brick through it because it's made of sand. Oh gosh. Who needs roster reviews? I prefer just talking. Anakin's flirting is not on the level of awkward person. It is on the level of, like, unable to be human. Like, it's the same level of, like, this doesn't feel like a person as, like, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Where it's like, this doesn't just feel like a schoolboy being awkward. This just feels painful. It's the same thing with Episode 2. Like, you got to remember, this is not a lifelong monk. This is not Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, yeah, it would make sense, and yet he still flirts better in every scenario. Like, this is a kid who grew up on Tatooine, seeing all kinds of wild stuff. And is suave enough as a 9-year-old to ask a girl, "Are you an angel?" And then just every piece of dialogue in Episode 2 is just so bad. Even Padme's stuff. Padme's stuff is just as bad as Anakin. Like, I'm not calling out Anakin specifically.
Hello there.
All of the dialogue to that movie is really rough. Like, this is a kid that grew up for his first 10 years around slavery and debauchery. Like, that's the entirety of his childhood. Mesa Sith Lord, welcome to the Beaver Dam. Oops, Dead, how dare they? You need to send it back right now. Sounds good, Trey. I respect your dedication to your faith. That's awesome, dude. I will look forward to seeing you on Sunday, my friend. Doing great, Sith Lord. How are you doing, my friend? What team should he be able to beat in GAC? Do you have all the Omicrons, Jelly? Because essentially all of them. Like, if you have a couple Omicrons, you'll be fine. Have you seen teenagers flirt? I've been the teenager flirting, yes. I am a very socially awkward person in general. When are the email roster reviews happening? Have you been emailing my business email? The amount of times that I check my business email is like 7, like each 3 years. I don't know. I don't look at that ever. Beaver is like a teacher who spends half his lesson talking about his life instead of teaching. Okay, time to talk about a substitute teacher. No, I'm kidding. We play Swago. Are you saying any of us interact with women? I printed it on my roster and mailed it to you. Heck yeah, Mesa. Yeah, it goes real fast. It'll be a little overwhelming at first, but it goes real fast. They reworked the new player stuff recently, so send my roster with smoke signal. Hey Ziggy, welcome. I haven't seen it. You might have, I mean, if it was 6 months ago, you might have sent it to the wrong apartment. 6 months ago, I was living in a different place. Dang, dude, I'm sorry. It's my teacher. We're having adult videos. Oh my gosh. I still can't believe that that's like a genuine problem is OF. OF being a problem for like teachers because the salary is so low is so rough, and it's absolutely wild. Okay, Lobo, are you here? I have instructed an acting class to act out my roster. Can you review it? If you send me a video of you interpretive dancing your roster, I will interpret it on stream and I will give you a roster review. Oh, very much so, Madness. That's the problem, is a teacher's salary is absolute garbage. Like it's awful unless you are on like a college level, and even then college level teaching, you're still not making very much. Like it's awful. And like they only work for 9 months of the year, so you're kind of like, you need to make money somewhere. And so like, yeah, it's bad. It has become a genuine problem where, you know, teachers have been doing OF. That's wild, person. Screams at Beaver holding up a 5-star. I interpret that as a Relic 5. Okay, Lobo. Love your profile picture on Discord. 8 months into the game, currently working on the final 3 requirements for GL Ray, farming JKCK character shards. Zepho. So you're going for Zepho ready? Is that what you mean by that? Kellerbeck, the Pretty Pal, Poncho Bros at Gear 12 going to take Relic 5 after Ray is done. So it sounds like you're kind of going for value right now. It sounds like you're doing all your value farm. Dark Side Ray next month. Very nice. Jabba's next, followed by JML, then probably Profundity. Then I should take a break to polish up stuff like After Darth Revan, etc. that are sitting me at Gear 12. I'd even wait, like, after Jabba, I would take a break and do some of that stuff. Like, you can go for the JML and everything, but you're going to have, you know, Sith Eternal and Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, Rey, and Jabba. You're going to have 4 GLs, 2 for defense, 2 for offense. You're going to be sitting pretty. You're going to be making mod materials and that type of stuff. I think you could take a break right there and work on that Afra and that Darth Revan and that kind of stuff after Jabba. I wouldn't wait until after JML and Profundity. Education and teacher salaries is a political issue. It's more of a, you know, just general issue in general. I was looking to become a teacher for a while, and here I am doing YouTube instead because I can literally make more from YouTube potentially than as a teacher. And it wouldn't be that hard. I'd have to probably go outside of Galaxy of Heroes, but yeah. No, Parsec is not distance. Parsec is an app for your computer and is the superior way to cast computers. The only dams is coming, Trey, I promise. Day 1977 of asking Coca-Cola to sponsor the channel. I should reach out to like a couple companies and see if I can't get some sponsorships, because if I can get a couple sponsorships, I'll have zero problems making this my full-time job. There's a Discord link right there, Mesa, and you'll be able to get a roster review if you go to the roster review section. There's one money is different. Fair enough, Ziggy. Not really. Star Wars has always been a conglomeration of kind of every theology and stuff. It's kind of meant to be in a something that can be accessed by everyone because it has a little bit of familiarity to everyone. Okay. So it sounds like you're going for value. I feel like you're going a little early for value. I'd rather you bum rush getting yourself your Jabba, even before Rey. But like, I understand the Rey's really close. Make sure that as you're going along, you're not sleeping on certain things. Like I just saw that, where is it? Resistance. You do not have a Finn Zeta yet. You have a Zori 2-star right here. Even this 2-star Zori can be one of the best teams in your roster for defense. You need Finn, Resistance Hero Finn, Zori, Resistance Hero Poe, and Rose Tico. And you basically have a team. So all you need is the Finn Zeta to get this started, and then mod this Resistance Hero Fit to have as much speed as you can. And this is going to be one of the best defense teams that you can possibly have in your roster, even at that 2-star Zori. So definitely something I would suggest to you, my friend. Prime, I don't know if I could ever do Prime, Angus. I'm going to be honest. Dang, Alex. Okay, so Lobo. Yeah, overall, I would say don't wait on your like Revan, your Afra, that type of stuff until post Profundity. I would do like post Jabba at the latest. Overall, finishing GL Ray, going for Zepho, yeah, sure. Peridia Pals, I'd probably push towards after Jabba. Keller and Beck is another one of those ones that I wouldn't do. The only time I do Keller and Beck is if you're going to push into if you're going to push into Mommy Mandalore. And since you're not pushing into Mommy Mandalore, you don't have any of the Rex done, I'd push that off as well. If you want to use KB because your guild's like pushing it, I'd suggest switching guilds, honestly. But overall, I mean, even at like a 3-star, 5-star Keller and Beck at like gear 9, gear 10, you can still get a lot done with that Omicron in Territory War if that's what you're kind of using. But honestly, a lot of this I'd push out. So like I'd finish GL Racer, finish Zepho if that's something your guild's pushing for. But like getting K-Beck, Peridia Pals, and Poncho Bros, I'd probably wait until after Jabba. After Jabba, I do a mass like cleanup of your roster, take some time and get all of that done. Then yeah, Profundity and JML, absolutely. Stay in the Rebel Trinity for sure. Get that Leia in there. But yeah. I think you're taking on a lot of major farms that can be pushed off, and having the Jabba done is not only going to give you an excellent GL, it's also going to give you a lot of materials, and like you have Jabba done. Like you bought both bundles to get Jabba, you basically have Jabba done. It'll honestly be easier to get Jabba done than it is going to be to get Keller and Beck, Peridia Pals, Poncho Bros, all that stuff. So like I don't know, I'd much rather see you get the Jabba first and then circle back around, because then you'll be making good mod stuff while you do those longer farms. So okay. Let's take a look at your speeds. Ooh, well, I'm not going to look at your mods too much because you're missing mods. I hope that was for an event or something. Overall, you need to work on your mod quality in general. So even more so, Jabba, dude. You need to get Jabba into your roster. Your mods are looking pretty shoddy right now. Yeah, make sure you're using swago.gg. If you want a mod guide, go just look up Rabid Beaver mods. And you'll find a couple videos that are going to help you get a basis of modding. But yeah, go for Jabba, and then you can circle around and finish a lot of these other things. Rey, I don't mind. Make sure you get your Finn Zeta and build the Finn Zori team. Zepho, I think if your guild's pushing it, it's not necessarily an awful thing. It doesn't fit in your roster very well, but if your guild's pushing it, I can understand doing it. But push everything else out until after Jabba. And then, you know, take a break for like 3 months, work on stuff after Jabba, and then circle back around to JML, take a break for a month and do some more stuff, and then Profundity, then take a break and do some more stuff. But you need a big break after Jabba, and I think you can get those value pieces, the Peridia Pals, the Poncho Bros, that kind of stuff, in your roster at that point. But yeah, if you want a home, I don't suggest Keller and Beck. Keller and Beck is just getting a random character that's not actually going to help your account that much, just to get things out of the Queen's Men. Build out Padme. Get Padme up. She's a requirement for a GL, and, you know, you already have her sitting here at Gear 12 with her Zetas. Use her to get yourself a good team to go for your Queen's Men. Because it looks like it's just for the Queen's Men that you're doing that. Overall, you need to finish your fleets bad. I'm not seeing a whole lot of like fleets that are finished at all. So make sure you're focusing down your fleet. So worried about your mods, worried about your fleets. Make sure you're farming for your fleets. Don't keep starting new projects. You need to do a lot of cleanup. Focus down your mods, focus down your fleets, and get that Jabba in your roster sooner rather than later. Pow Omi alone will help immensely. Yeah, like it'll help to some degree, but like he has 3 GLs, or he will in the next couple of weeks. So like I'm not super worried about getting into conquest stuff. Like Rey is one of the best conquest GLs to keep people alive. Like, yeah, I don't know. Probably no Denny's run tonight, Trey. Yeah, but your POW is at year 12 at the moment, right? But yeah, focus down that Jabba. A lot of these farms I would put off. If they're not pushing Zepho for you, push off Zepho. Like, Zepho does not make sense for your account. You don't have the Jedi to really support him super well, and it's gonna get you 5 characters that are Cairo characters that are not gonna actually help your account that much. It's not a great farm for someone as early as you. You have a lot of cleanup to do first. We got Tyler Cox next. That's weird. There we go. What is happening here? There we go. That was weird. Best way to get a roster review is to go to the Discord. We go by people who have a $10 membership, people who super chat, people in Discord, and then people in chat. And so the best way to get a free roster review is through Discord. So we're just going top to bottom right now from the moment that we typed in the message live now. When can I get a roster review from my Raid Shadow Legends account? There's not a really good way to review rosters in Raid Shadow Legends. I don't know if you've seen what other content creators do, but basically they sign in on your account, and they call it account takeovers. And that's the only way that you can really do anything with Raid Shadow Legends, and so it'd be much harder to do something like that in that game than it is in this game. So I would love to do something like that. I don't know a good way besides account takeovers, and I'm not super comfortable with getting other people logins to a game. I'm not. So is your name the same in Discord? Yeah, it is. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're number 5, Angus. From where we are now. We're on 1. We'll do our number 5. Probably Ziggy. We'll see. It is in my contract that I can do streams, so. Okay, Tyler, working on Java primarily, farming JKSDK for PP/Zepho when my guild finally decides to make it mandatory. So it's more of a PP, but you're justifying it by it being preparation in case your guild asks for it. Just unlocked malevolence and farming hyena bomber. So in short, I'm in Cairo, debt, and thanks for any advice you got. I mean, if your guild isn't pushing Zepho ready, but you're getting Zepho ready, I would suggest switching guilds typically. Going for Java, I do think is the best thing you can do. Let's just confirm. Yeah, you've got the Executor. How is your fleet doing? So you need to still work on your bomber, your Tie-Echelon. You don't have this fleet, so it doesn't really matter. You said you just finished your Separatist, so you're working on that. Solid. You have your Y-Wing. Okay. So it looks like you're working on your fleets. Anything that I'm like, oh no, how dare you? No, just keep focusing on Java. I think that's really the big thing here, is make sure you get that Java in your roster, because then after you get that Java in your roster, spending Kairos on JKCK, sure. Throwing Kairos at the Queen's Men, sure, because you're going to be building up passive stuff as you go, and so I don't think doing those PPs are going to be nearly as impactful to your roster after you do that. Honestly, a lot of the times I'd suggest taking the time to, finish some of these characters before moving on that you kind of have lying around, but you're kind of low on GLs, and you have like the bundles to get JML super easily. See what else you got. You don't have the resistant. you didn't have the Sith Eternal. So yeah, kind of staying in the Rebel Trinity and getting more into your account, I think in like a JML would be solid. I think the only thing that I'm seeing in here that I would like, I like to see that Relic is probably Marin, Captain Rex, and Jedi Knight Revan are the only 3 that I'd say like are ones that I would do after Jabba before moving on. Do those and then head into JML, I think would be a solid thing. Hey Cameron, welcome. Fleets and mods are being focused on. Sweet. Okay, sounds good. Then yeah, I honestly think, you know, besides obviously Zepho is probably not the best decision for your roster quite yet. Besides that type of stuff where you have a couple farms in here that I don't think your roster is quite ready yet. Overall, I think your farming plan is correct. You're going for Jabba, you know, you're finishing out a fleet, the Malevolence. You know, that type of stuff, I don't think that's bad at all. I'm staying in the Rebel Trinity. I think you should continue along that path. I'd probably finish those 3 and then move on to your next GL and try and get like a JML into your roster. And then I would kind of take a break and focus down these kind of side farms that you're working on. But, you know, once you get Jabba, a lot of it goes to, you know, you're not going to be impacting your roster too much because you can still work on mods really well and get some good stuff out of Jabba, you know, be helping out your guild and that type of thing. Just by owning Jabba in your roster, and you have a defensive GL, you have a ton of leeway when it comes to a roster as soon as you get Jabba. So, I don't necessarily hate what you're doing. I think it to some degree inefficient, but it's still going to be solid for your roster. Yeah, so as I said, I'd finish Marin, Captain Rex, and Jedi Knight Revan, and then I'd go get JML, and then I'd flesh out your roster. That would be my suggestion to you, my friend. You know, we'll take a second and we'll look at our GAC bracket in just a moment. We'll check your SLKR just to make sure he's well modded. He's a little on the slow side. Your mods are right, but he's a little on the slow side. I'd like to see him faster. Okay, you guys ready to be surprised? You guys ready for this? Everything but Ahsoka. All 3 meta fleets. If I were to choose any of these people, you know, let's choose this person. Oh, they're missing a GL. I'm impressed. All 3 meta fleets? Wow, we have someone in our bracket that's not on that level. Literally everyone I've faced for the last like 3 months has just had every single GL, all of the GL ships. Their only thing they're missing is Ahsoka. Okay, we have this set up, don't we? We're gonna start focusing this just because I want to make sure everyone gets a chance, if possible. Why is it getting the entire message? Okay, we got Quentin next. Okay, Quentin, let's go. Currently farming Leviathan, then I'll do a bit of maintenance like Sith Eternal Emperor. Did that not work? Mara, Gab. Why did that not work? Oh, because this is a new Steam. Okay, hold on. I figured out why that. Okay, there we go. Got the timer fixed. Okay. Oof, Trey. I know, I'm the worst, dude. Okay, currently farming Leviathan, then I'll do a bit of maintenance like C and Ezra. Once this is done, I'll go farm Mommy Mandalore. I also fix my mods a bit since last time if you want to have a look. Okay, sweet. I'll take a look through your mods in just a moment. Leviathan is not a terrible farm. Just keep in mind, make sure you're saving up crystals. It's a much worse at 4-star than any of the other capital ships. So make sure you are saving up crystals as much as you can to push that out. Yeah, definitely some Hezra needs to be hit. Was the one that I was just thinking. I was like, that looks like it could use some work. You have so many Zetas that you need to get. I honestly don't remember what I was looking at. This sucks. It'll come to me. Promise. Overall, your bottom half, like your bottom part of your roster, where like it, you know, the cleanup stuff doesn't look awful. Like your cleanups look pretty low overall. Like there's not like 7 characters in here that I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to finish this. You need to take a break after your next farm. Like you look like you're doing pretty good. Mommy Mandalore, okay, I get Zetas and Omicrons are going to be a problem. I would really like to see your I would really like to see your Luthen team get up, and your Ezra get up, because Ezra can counter Jabba, your Luthen can counter Leia and Rey, as well as Lord Vader and a couple other GLs. Bo-Katan is just going to be a whole bunch of Zetas. It's not an event that you can do with a whole, you know, just a couple Zetas. You got 3 for Bo-Katan that you need. You got 1 for IG-12, 1 for Bam, 2 for Kelleran Beck, and 1 for Paz Vizsla just to get through it. And then if you want to get through it easier, you're going to have to drop another one on Bam, as well as if you want to make sure your Paz is done, you're going to need another Zeta there, plus the 3 Omicrons on Bam, or Bo. So like it's a heavy Zeta farm, and already as I'm scrolling through your account, you're missing a lot of Zeta. And so it's a rough farm to ask, especially when you have a couple of conquest characters that can kill GLs for you in your roster. And like Mon Mothma, that's 2 Zetas on Mon Mothma, 1 on Luthen if you want to. You don't actually need the Luthen Zeta, make him do most of what he needs to do. And then like a Pow Zeta, and you have a GL killer team. Ezra, you basically just farm up Ezra and give him 1 Omicron and you're good. So, I don't know. So you definitely have a little bit of cleanup to do. I like the Leviathan. The Leviathan's giving you time to build up Zetas. But yeah. Hey, Rebel, it's been a while. How you doing, my friend? You have 45k crystals saved up? Sweet. Okay, and let's take a quick look at your mods. Like, I don't really see a problem with your overall farming plan. You're just in a high data deficit, which is just, it's always going to be true, dude. It is just, with light speed bundles, it's always going to be true. And cleaning up and doing fleet farms is always going to be better than going for new farms right now, just because you're so far behind at any given moment. Beautiful. Are you using the tenacity cross? You're using health. I'd switch this to tenacity personally. It's not as important now that Luthen's in the game, but it still does help with things. I would suggest dropping tenacity on there. 10,000 damage. You're a little below, so I would, you're below 500 speed, but it's pretty close to 500, so I'm not super worried. I would get the 10,000 damage on her though, so I would push her mods a bit. Yeah, Ray needs a bit of work. I concur. Congratulations, Appleby. That's awesome, my friend. Hold on, we got something for this.
Impressive.
Just got myself set to Sim Smugglers Run 2 tonight. Heck yeah, dude. But yeah, Sith Eternal Emperor sitting here with all 6 of his Zetas definitely needs to be cleaned up, and I can definitely see that. Like, a lot of people with Steve, they'll be like at Gear 7 with no Zetas, and it's like, just leave it. Just leave it. Don't focus on it. Come back to it. But this is, you know, a really solid place to be at Sith Eternal, so yeah, definitely push everything you can into Sith Eternal and get him up as a cleanup. Mommy Mandalore. Yes, I can see why, especially if you're trying to fight your way into a good guild. You have some stuff in the bottom of your roster I really would like you to do. Hermit Ezra especially. I think C and Hermit Ezra, you've identified those ones, but the Mon Mothma team is another one that could really make your account pop. So some stuff to think about. I'm sure I'm out of time for the timer. I need to start paying attention to the timer better. Can you guys keep me like on topic and focused? So like if you see the timer hitting close to 0, just throw in chat. Say, hey, it's close to 0, just so that way I'm on track to, you know, getting to all of you. That's why you got to do bow. Okay, sweet. Then yeah, like, then yeah, I can definitely see the bow. It's just gonna be rough on your Zetas. Keep in mind, that's 3, 4, 5, 6 Zetas. 7, 8 Zetas for that event and getting bow done. So. It's a speed mod with offense primary. Heck yeah. Yeah, how dare I try to be entertaining to any degree. Oh, I don't have that set up to this. Okay, that's gonna be annoying, but we'll deal with it. Okay, who's next? We got Graphical. Graphical, are you here? It's outrageous. It's unfair. Okay, there's Graphical. Okay. Working on my assault battle teams. We're referring to, I'm guessing, Peridia Patrol and Queen's Men. You're talking about assault battle teams. We're gonna get my Inquisitors Reaver ready, including Merrick. Not sure where to go from here. The Rebel Trinity, dude. Don't break out of the Rebel Trinity. First things first, I want you to clean up your Jedi Knight Revan anytime that a Jedi Knight Revan is sitting in a roster unrelicked and there's a Jedi Knight Luke or a Jedi Master Luke in that roster. A Beaver loses its front teeth and gets depression. Please get that Jedi Knight Revan relicked up. I'd also like to see your Savage relicked up with the Omicron here at some point soon. But I think a lot of your cleanup can wait. I think I'd rather see a GL in here. Get your Jedi Knight Revan done. Go get your JML. It'll help with Conquest. It'll be a good offensive GL for you. You know, get yourself that in your roster and stay within the Rebel Trinity. Get the Leia and that type of thing and stay within the Rebel Trinity. After you get the JML is probably when I relic this Zori up, you know, relic your Savage up, that type of stuff. But the Jedi Knight Revan is like now. You're doing your Jedi Knight Revan right now for your assault battle team. Perfect. Do you have the Jedi Knight Luke lead Zeta? This right here. This is the most important thing you can do. I don't know if you know about this graphic, but this is how you do the assault battle, is just this Zeta right here. It's one of the best Zetas in the game for PvE content. You don't use it in PvP very often. I've only used it probably 2, maybe 3 times in PvE or PvP content. But this is just phenomenal. I do plan on making a video about that assault battle when it next comes around to explain how the strategy works, just because I've gotten a couple of requests for it. So keep an eye out for that. I'll remember Robin B. Williams taking double. Let me entertain you. I've given up all hope of new Lightspeed medals. We're in that drought area where we got all of them in a row during Christmas. It's going to be a little bit of a break, and then it'll start to ramp up again. We'll start getting some reruns pretty soon. So... but yeah, like, you know, finish your Jedi Knight Revan, stay within the Rebel Trinity. Don't go too far out of that. If you're in a super bad Zeta deficit, go for the Profundity first. You know, get yourself some ships, make sure you're working on your fleets. This is a big thing that people sleep on, is just making sure your fleets are all done. Although that immediately gives me hope, but the BTLB needs to be finished. I hope you're working on that. Your special forces, your Star Fortress, and your comeuppance need to be existent in this. Your Hyena Bomber needs work. So there's plenty of places to use your energy outside of building out new farms. Finish out some of these fleets. Work on your Profundity if you have to, if you're in a really bad Zeta deficit. But overall, just Jedi Knight Revan, then staying within the Rebel Trinity, going for JML, then going for Leia is going to be something that's super nice for you. Let's take a quick look at your mods, make sure nothing's out of place. A little bit slow on the SLKR. Looks like the mods are in order though. Your Ray above 500 speed and above the 10,000 damage mark, so you're in a very solid spot. Honestly, if you can find some mods that have good secondary rolls for health versus speed, and you drop the speed a bit, it's not going to be a bad thing. More health is the thing you should push into. If you're over the 500 damage mark, you're over the 500 speed mark, 10,000 damage mark, at that point everything else should just be pushed into health for that character. So looking good. Health, I do suggest the tenacity. The health just really the health is just for survival, and he survives plenty. Really the only thing the health is for taking out other GLs, and you're not going to lose that much by dropping that for a tenacity cross. Your fastest character being 313 is a little slow overall. I do like seeing these characters in the top area overall. It looks like you have a pretty good idea of who should be fast. I'd like to see a Resistance Hero Finn faster. I want to see him, 330. Fall off from 313 to 264 is pretty fast. Overall, just your mods in general need some work. Yes, you have Jabba, and Jabba is great for fixing your mods, but also I don't want you taking mods too far. Don't be sitting here and just because you're getting Smuggler's Run 2-3 times a month, don't be taking up, 8 speed mods up to 6 dot. Make sure that they're quality mods you're taking up to 6 dot and utilizing your mods effectively, just so you're not just, losing out on a whole lot of your materials just to get one good mod you're hoping to roll. Nothing's more painful than watching someone have a gold mod with 5 speeds because they keep convincing themselves that they've already sunken this much in, they need to keep going. Sunken cost fallacy does not work. Okay. Jumping into the next roster. Thank you, Madness, for keeping me up to date with that. Like, literally, I was seeing the message pop up, and I was like, aha, okay, I see. Okay, you're working hard on your odds. Good. But yeah, just make sure you're not taking things too far, because, like, even with Jabba, you can end up not actually benefiting your roster that much if you're pushing a ton into mods that don't deserve it. So... lever what, lever who, are you here? Do you have your jar of dirt? Are you ready for your roster review? Okay, sounds good. Do you have your jar of dirt? Can anyone guess what's inside his jar of dirt?
Hello there.
JW, welcome to the damn community, my friend. Okay, working on the executive requirements, I'll be getting it. Timer. Working on executive requirements, I'll be getting it in next rotation and thinking about going for JML into Leia or Jabba. A little short on Zetas right now since I'm saving it for Darkside Ray. That's true of basically anyone that has Lightspeed bundles. Zeta deficit is a very real thing. I'm glad your GLs have all their Zetas though, so it looks like you're kind of digging yourself out of that Zeta deficit. I'm seeing things like a Resistance Zero Finn Zeta. Makes me happy. Very much makes me happy. If I see you using anything but the Qui-Gon Omicron with this Jedi Knight Luke, I'm going to be upset though, because I see that Zeta on the Jedi Knight Anakin. Sorry, I said Jedi Knight Luke. I meant Jedi Knight Anakin. Working the executive requirements, I'll be getting it next rotation. Then thinking about going for JML into Leia or Jabba. What do we got? Little short Zetas. Yeah, let's see what we got. Bounty Hunters. Did you buy any of the Lightspeed balls? You didn't. So yeah. For most people, I suggest Jabba first nowadays, but you have so much to get you to JML. You have all the crap requirements basically done, and so this is going to be a very easy farm to finish. So make sure you're working on that Mon Mothma, and get yourself a JML, and then into Jabba for sure. Leia will look closer, and she will be technically closer, but Jabba is going to get you much more value. So the JML is still solid, still going to help you in Conquest and that kind of thing. So yeah, I absolutely think that JML is your next farm, followed by Jabba. Executor. So important. Please get it done. I know you are, but I want to preface what I just said by saying make sure you finish the Executor. Okay, sounds good, Astro. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, you do have the Qui-Gon Omicron. This is another part that's a secret thing that you need to do for the Executor, so make sure you don't sleep on this. Finish your BAM, finish your Cad Bane if you don't have it from a Lightspeed bundle. I think you do. I'm not gonna go check, but make sure those ships are done. Make sure you're working on your tanks. I'm not seeing a BTLB Y-Wing in here, even though you have Relic 7 on both of these characters. You don't have a BTLB. Go get yourself a BTLB Y-Wing. Your tanks are your most important resource when it comes to fleets. And so make sure you're working on your fleet tanks. You're missing a Hyena bomber here. So yeah, make sure you're at least 2 of your farms. 2 of your energy farms need to be tanks, some kind of fleets. They are a long farm and they're going to last even longer if you don't start them today. Work on at least 2 tanks at any given moment, please. What's your stream delay on YouTube? I don't know. It's only a couple seconds, I believe. Qui-Gon with his Omi still does more than Padme at Gear 6. I'm not even kidding. Padme can be soloed by Malak. Gear 6 Qui-Gon will not be able to be soloed by Malak. Like, it's still a solid choice to put that with it. Padme is not a great team. If you need to get use out of her, throw her with the Queen's Men, or throw her with Gideon and do a Gidme team on offense. Overall, your mods, we're looking at a fairly well done SLKR, but the defense mod's painful. Get this switch to offense or crit damage. Get this switch to health if you can. It's not vitally important on that one, but it's still helpful. But the defense to offense or crit damage, preferably crit damage, is something that I would go for. Sith Eternal Emperor being over 500 speeds, pretty good, but that's without health mods all the way. You want this guy to be health right here for the primary stat, health, and health. So essentially, the prime thing you want to be able to do with the Sith Eternal is take down a JMK. This character can take down JMK. The thing is, JMK ignores protection when he's going up against Sith, which means you need as much health as possible. Drop all of these speed mods off of him, fill it all with health primaries, health mods, and get this guy as beefy as possible and as close to 500 speed as possible. It's going to take you a while to do, I know, but please do work on it. I can't really measure your damage marker just because you're at Relic 9 for this character. You are over the 500 speed though, so solid work there. Overall, 330, 280. That's honestly not a bad drop from there to there. First Order Officer needs to be faster than Hux, but it's not as important because you have Dark Side Vision, right? I still do it, though. Rex should be faster. Your Dark Trooper's a little fast. I don't think it's a huge deal, though. And Grief Karga should be 1 speed less than your Bosk. Overall, it looks like you have a pretty good idea who should be modded, though. Just a little fiddling, and like this seems more of like this is the only mod you had at the time, and you just need to optimize your mods for your GLs a bit now. So. But it's kind of embarrassing because it's mostly light speed levels. I mean, that's fine, Felipe. I mean, most of these accounts are primarily Lightspeed bundle accounts. Okay, we got Angus next. Is Angus ready? Yeah, there's a big reason why we say Jabba's so important, Bekesi. Okay. Timer going. Okay, I'm going after JML right now. Should I go for Sith Eternal after or Executor? I'm closer to C, but I don't have a GL ship yet. Or is there any side farms I should do instead of? Also, I got Jabba less than 2 weeks ago. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna need a GL ship, dude. That's like the two things that you need is your first GL and your first GL ship. They're what launches your account into the stratosphere for overall power level, because everything is downhill from there. You get your first GL and it takes forever. You get your first GL ship and it takes forever. But then everything after that's super easy. It just becomes easier and easier the farther you get into the game. The hardest farm is always the first farm, and your GL ship is missing, and that is a big chunk of crystals you could be making daily, especially with how good Executor is in the current meta. So 100% focus down the GL ship. Yes, I know you're closer to Sith Eternal. Sith Eternal's not nearly as good. Focus down the Executor. Overall on your fleets, take a quick look. Yeah, I'm already worried about your fleets in general, so double down on those fleets. Get your Echelon done, get your Special Forces tie, get your BTLB done. Make sure you're focusing down your tanks. Your fleets are just, they're really rough right now. And so like you have 3 GLs, you are in a good spot. Spend everything on fleets right now. Get yourself a GL fleet as well as a couple fleets for offense. Felipe, type in !Discord and it'll pop up with a Discord link and take you to the right place. Heinricher's got you. Okay, mods. We talked about kind of what you need to focus on. Stay in the Rebel Trinity for major projects after this point, after the Executor, after the fleets. So if you're looking for your next big project, it's going to be, you know, going into JML, going into Leia, that type of stuff. If you want to get Sith Eternal, you certainly can. It's not actually going to be that helpful to you overall. Like, Sith Eternal's just a so-so GL right now. And so, like, if you want to go for him, like, he's another GL. But like, I'd rather you focus on a JML that's going to help you out in Conquest, multiple game modes, you know, help you out a lot more overall. Sith Eternal's just kind of weak at the moment, so I usually tell people to leave him until the end. You know, push him off as much as you can. Top of your roster's a little slow, but for 6 million with a lot of light speed bundles, it's not awful. First Order Officer needs to be faster than Hux. Jedi Knight Revan should be reliced sooner rather than later. In the overall things that you need to do, I'd probably say finish your Executor and then relic your Jedi Knight Revan. And dude, working on your fleets is going to give you the time to get so many Zetas, because you're so far behind on your fleets that you need to be spending so much energy on your fleets. But it's not necessarily a bad thing, because you have like a Phoenix team in here that could use Zetas. You have a Night Sister team that could use Zetas. You have, you know, what was the one that I was just looking at? Imperial troopers that could use Zetas. Like, you have so many places to put Zetas and that you need Zetas for. The Darth Treya team needs Zetas and Omicrons. Like, you have so much in here that's absolutely banger, but you're missing the Zetas for them. And so focusing down those ships and focusing down your mods is going to give you the time to work on those things that are vitally important that are already in your roster. And so Relicking Jedi Knight Revan right after JML. You can wait until that point. The reason that I say after Executor but before JML is because then it gives you a really good Jedi Knight Luke team to utilize until you get JML. And so that's why I usually suggest it in that sweet spot, is because then you can still utilize a really good Jedi Knight Revan team, because the Jedi Knight Luke lead is just so in PvP. So but yeah. You can leave Darth Revan. Padme you can leave permanently, but Darth Revan you can leave until after you have some more stuff in your roster. General Skywalker's an 8 Zeta farm, so I'd say leave it. If you want to get him up, you have a little passion project, you have a little PP for this character, just drop his 2 Zetas on his uniques, and then you can use them with your JML, your Jedi Knight Revan, that type of stuff, and use them as a Jedi until you have the time and Zetas to put more Zetas into the team and make the whole 501st team. Yeah, looking like a solid start to an account. Malik is someone I would level up, though. Malik is someone that can be used at 5-star gear 11. So if you have the time, Malik is not a bad thing to throw with that gear 12 Darth Revan. Obviously you're out of Zetas though, so it makes it a little bit more rough. So I honestly would probably push that off the Sith Empire until you have at least, you know, your GL ship, a couple fleets on the way, and like one more GL, like JML at least. We got Madness. Madness, did you say you're leaving? Or is that Astro? Astros didn't get me. Okay. Go. Madness recently got Goth Ray to R5. Need help deciding my next farm. Leviathan is quite a grind, but that's my first option. You have 5 GLs. You have 1 GL fleet. Honestly, Leviathan's looking pretty tasty right now. Like, looking pretty tasty. I honestly think that's one of the best options you could do. If you have the willpower to get through that farm, I think it's a great idea. You don't have the ships all 7-star, would need to pull away from my signal data farming to do them. I mean, there's only one fleet that's Kong or Cantina, isn't it? Yeah, you would need to pull from your signal data farm them. Either way, I think your fleets are really what you need to push on. Like, you could go for Leia, obviously, but you're kind of in that sweet spot of being solid on the ground side. Like, if I were to look at this roster, I would suggest fleets myself, or I would suggest Mommy Mandalore and Zepho ready. That is what I would suggest, is Mommy Mandalore, Zepho ready, kind of getting the value pieces into your roster. Maybe some of the stall battle characters like the Queen's Men, that type of thing. But then, you know, obviously Leviathan is going to be one of the best things that you can do in this roster. I think you have a good solid base, and I think value pieces are going to be the big thing. So Seth's ship is Cantina and Zast's ship. Zat Empire Trooper. Did they move it to Cantina? Nah, maybe I'm crazy and it's always been there. I think I just got almost all the shards from the Galactic Chase or whatever it's called. Okay. Sounds good, Oopstead. Yeah, so like I would say you're either gonna go for value pieces. You're gonna go for Zepho ready, and you're gonna go for Mando ready, and like, you know, Queen's Men, or you're gonna go for your fleets and get your Leviathan. So either one I think is going to be good, and I honestly think Leviathan then like Mommy Mando is going to be solid, especially if you're willing to switch guilds. If you're willing to switch guilds, it's going to be insanely helpful. Now, if you're not willing to switch guilds, go for the Queen's Men and then move on to your next farm. So nice, very nice. Dude, you're killing me. I am so hungry. I haven't eaten like anything today. The last time I ate was at 9 a.m. and so it's been almost 12 hours at this point. So gas would help a ton. Gas is solid. It's just a lot of Zetas to sink in. If you have a PP for it, then like sure, you're in a good spot where you can kind of work on anything. So this isn't necessarily going to be awful. JMK, yes, you can look at JMK. So here's the thing. What we're looking at is value. What farms have the most value? Because you can go for GL after GL at this point. You can go anywhere in the game. You have 5 GLs. You have the basis to do good in Conquest. You have the basis to do good in GAC. You have the basis of a roster. The question is, what's giving you the most value to make sure that farms going forward are going to be easier, and that's going to be making sure you get your good guild farms done, getting yourself a Leviathan to increase your crystal income and make sure you can always be in #1 spot, because it's really easy to climb with a Leviathan, as well as getting more crystals from GAC. Of course, Leia's going to get you Zetas each month, as well as some other materials from her little assault battle thing that she has with the Ewoks. So like you're really looking at what is going to give you the most value. JMK is close, yes, and you are looking at maybe a Lightspeed Bone coming down the road, but like JMK just gets you a JMK, and that's it. And so I want you to look at farms that are going to benefit you in multiple different ways overall. I'm going to take a quick look at your mods, but I think either going for your value pieces or going for your Leviathan are your 2 options. You choose which one you feel like is going to be easier for you. Maybe it's Leviathan first, and then you take a break and do some of these smaller farms. Maybe it's the smaller farms while you prepare mentally to go into Leviathan and build up the crystals you need to bring it up to 7-star. Your choice. Do you think JMK is too new for a Lightspeed bundle? Absolutely not. We got a Jabba Lightspeed bundle. Jabba is much newer than JMK. Okay, quick look at your mods. Quick look at your ships. Looks good. Okay. We'll take a look at JML. Almost 550. But do you have the protection? Question. Beautiful, my friend. Love to see it. Ray. Over 500 speed, barely over. Your mods are looking a little rough on Ray. The fact that it's a Relic 8 Ray and you're barely over 10,000 damage tells me that you don't have much damage on her. I would switch one of your mods to an offense primary. Over 500 speed. Is it all health? Health. Very nice. Your Sith Eternal Emperor is looking solid. Jabba the Hutt 544, not too shabby. Yeah, I'm not worried about your mods. Your mods are looking good. Yeah, besides what we've talked about, I think you're looking solid, dude. JMK is devalued heavily by Inquisitor Lightspeed model. JMK is severely undervalued because he doesn't lead anywhere. You have to build his team after you unlock him. And then on top of all of that, you also have to look at the fact that Great Mothers counters him, Bo-Katan counters him, Maul counters him if he's not using Padme. They've just started, they just started building basically every team can beat JMK. They make it like the thing where just, hey, we're developing a new kit. What should we build in there? Oh, I don't care, just as long as it says somewhere in the kit, spit on JMK as you pass him. Like, that is what CG's been doing to the GL lately, which is really rough because he's a PPGL to a lot of people. And so it's been a rough year and a half for JMK, just because everything's kind of had that spit on JMK as you pass kind of stuff. So like Ahsoka, you look at Ahsoka's kit and it's just like, oh, if you have protection up, screw you. Like, everyone kind of has stuff built in. Who is it? Same with Dark Side Ray. It just has a whole bunch of screw JMK specifically in there. Like, it's overall just the last year and a half has been very rough on JMK, and he doesn't lead to other things to get you value, so he's severely undervalued. Like, yeah, I think it's warranted to a degree, but the fact that it's just every team coming out cheeseballs is a little much. Like, I can see them adding a new counter to Rey, for instance. She has like 2 counters right now, but like it's been like 7 in the last year and a half that can beat JMK all of a sudden. Are they easy to get teams? No, but they will be later down the road when, you know, they've been out for longer than a year. But like, you know, the fact that it's just team after team after team that can beat JMK, like, makes it feel really weird, because like Leia still doesn't have anything like that, you know, Jabba still doesn't have anything like that, you know, Rey even doesn't even have anything like that, and Rey just keeps getting super powered by new characters coming out. Like, there's so many characters that are just like, they have only a couple counters, and then JMK, they're like, every single thing that comes out in the next year and a half is gonna counter JMK. It's like, okay. Jabba has taken some hits in the last year, but still not much. Like, you look at what can take out a Jabba, just a straight Jabba team, it's still rough. Like, you're gambling on Night Sisters. You know, you could use the Jedi Knight Revan with Hermit Ezra, but that takes away Hermit Ezra from a whole bunch of other teams that could be in there. Like, it's still, Jabba's in a very good place, and like a solo Jabba in 3v3 is still a pain in the butt to clean up. It's so hard. Gas is not so much it fell off, it's the fact that he's 8 Zetas, high relics to be able to counter all of those things, plus the fact that, you know, he's hard to get, he's out of the way for most things, because we're pushing more towards the rebels as what you should go for, and we're considering those harder to get farms with, you know, going into Lord Vader, and you know, and like there's no events attached to those characters essentially, whereas each of the rebels have like something attached to them, which is going to be more helpful overall in the game. So like, it's not so much that they've fallen off. Also, Gas doesn't have the greatest banners. It's not so much that they've like gotten to the point where they can't beat things. They still can beat things, and especially on offense, they're just basically like the JMK is still a trump card, where it's like you can beat anything you want to on offense. But the fact that he's just absolutely demolished on defense is just painful. Hey, Anakin Lava Crawler, welcome. Yeah, meanwhile, Lord Vader's sitting in the corner, still hasn't had his time to shine. Enoch Troopers, I believe, was based off of a Datacron. I haven't seen it without the Datacron. I'll do some research to see, but I'm pretty sure that was Datacron based. Luthen can? I have never seen Luthen beat Jabba before. Like, Luthen can beat a solo Jabba, but I've never seen Jabba be used to be just a straight up, or Luthen to be a straight up Jabba, because it shuts down the whole team. You get 2 full turns with each person doing nothing and gaining no turn meter essentially. Can be beat by Night Sisters as a 2-shot. Well, why not? And like, even then it's scary. In 3v3 you can 1-shot it a lot easier, but in 5v5 it's like a 16% win rate for a 1-shot. Even in 3v3 I think it's only like 46% win rate for a 1-shot. How dare you, Trey. Hey, ADP, welcome, my friend. Best 3v3 SLKR comp for defense. SLKR, any dark side first order tank, and this is obviously pre-Rey, and it depends on if you're using Rey with that team or anything else. But essentially, it's SLKR, Hux, and any tank. or it's SLKR, Darkside Ray, and Hux if you're looking at defense. Basically, if you drop Hux out of that team, the whole team falls apart on defense because you can steamroll it with, you know, like Star Killer and Imperial Troopers and all kinds of stuff. So. Oh, I agree. Well, why not? I 100% agree. I don't see Swigo gameplay in here. Is Swigo gameplay here? I think he's left since he put this in. Oh, there you go. Okay. Farming Lord Vader and waiting for CG to announce a new fleet or new raid details. Unlocked Alpha, but no Zetas on going through Zeta Crunch and trying to stay for Lord Vader. We'll start working on special mission teams for territory battles after Lord Vader. So I think let me know if you could add anything. I mean, this is very much an end game account, and like I don't know if there's a ton that I can really add to this besides, you know, working for territory battle stuff. I would like to see some higher relic levels. That's kind of the thing that I'm a little worried about, is I feel like your relic levels need to be cleaned up a bit. Especially that's rough. Yeah. So like I think the big thing for me in this account, like I'm not going to suggest any new farms. I'm not going to suggest anything like down here that I want you to get. Like go for Lord Vader, right? But like seeing Doctor after Relic 3 versus Relic 7's painful. Royal Guard at Relic 3 when you're about to get Lord Vader and he's like the ultimate tank for Lord Vader. You're going to want to get him up to at least Relic 7. Having a Relic 3 Marin, a Relic 3 who was it? It was like right here. Yeah, Traya. Relic 3 Traya that I'm seeing sitting right here. The Relic 4 Jedi Knight Revan. Like, you have quite a bit that I'm a little worried about. So after Lord Vader, I want you to take some time and I want you to up your relic levels on some of these characters, because like you've done it on some of these characters that like can use it for like attackers and stuff, but I feel like some of your other characters are kind of getting left to the wayside overall. So I think that's the big thing that I would focus on down on this account, is just making sure that you have some good relic levels on these characters, especially Traya. Traya is just at Relic 3, she dies off so easily. I've experienced that myself. There's a reason that I immediately volunteered as soon as my guild said, hey, we need a Relic 5 Traya, and I was like, yep, okay, all in, absolutely, that's me. But yeah, I think upping your relic levels a little bit is going to be helpful, and making sure that, of course, your Afra has a Relic 7. If she dies off, the whole fleet falls apart. Said it once, I've said it, I'll keep saying it. Relic 7, your Geonosians having a back pocket profundity counter and just a really solid fleet is always going to be good. Let's see. Good, you have that done. Kind of good. Until I add a lifter for that, I don't think there's any reason to do that. Not a bad idea either is relicking up your punishing one, trying to get your Dengar Relic 7 or Relic 8. He's the last journey character left for me, yeah. And obviously, like, you're waiting for kind of what CG announces, and I think that's solid, because I don't think, like, you know, necessarily going for the new marquee characters that just came out are super important. It doesn't seem like that insane of a team so far. Maybe it'll turn into that way with Crosshair, but I don't know. It seems like just an okay team. So but yeah, I would say up the relic levels on some characters, and I think Dengar is going to be a big one. Trey is going to be a big one. You know, you have some in here to definitely work on. I also would consider upping your relic levels on Staffage to like Relic 7 or Relic 8, just to make him that much beefier. But Yeah, no, I don't think you should. Tutorial gameplay. How high gear and what's the team comp to beat Endor Assault Battle Tier 3 with Garsak's Imperial Super Commando? If I recall from the comments section, I had people saying that they did it at like gear 10 with Garsak's Imperial Super Commando. The best composition is probably going to be Veer's Piet Range Trooper with Garsak's Imperial Super Commando. You don't necessarily need the relics for Garsak's Imperial Super Commando, but any gear you can get into them is going to be great. I would suggest gear 12 at least for them, just because that doesn't require any Kyro text. You know, they're both old characters, so you can get them up to gear 12 very, very easily. So I would do that. So gear 12 them, and then make sure you have the Piet Zeta and the Veer Zeta and, you know, the Veer's lead, essentially. Relic 5 Maul seems a little low. Yeah, it's another one to up after you get Lord Vader for sure. And obviously he should have a Relic 9 Darkside Ray like me. Everyone should have that. So, please go. Best range trooper substitute? Honestly, anyone. Yeah, honestly, anyone. You don't want to use Shore Trooper because you don't want the taunt. I use Dark Trooper myself, and Dark Trooper doesn't really do anything, but it's just another character to be in there. Literally any third Imperial Trooper will basically do the trick, dude. It's mostly just to have the full 5 rather than anything good. Like, the Range Trooper helps, but that's like the only Imperial Trooper that's really like helpful in that slot. The rest are just okay. Just make sure you don't use Shore Trooper, essentially. Was a missing on Sith Eternal? The one that makes it so Darkseid tanks taunt on Sith Eternal Emperor, which is a weird one to not have. I wonder if that's based off of a counter or something. And then Rey is probably going to be her basic. Yeah, Rey is her basic. Ahsoka Tano's her basic. I don't even remember what her basic does. Is it just dispel buffs? Is that what it is? And then Jedi Master Luke's basic as well. Sword Trooper improves all their defense and makes them take more damage. True. Yeah, there you go. ADP coming in with a solid suggestion. Yeah, there you go. Use Stormtrooper if you have them. We got Wavy Tone next. I got time for this and one more. Yeah, of course we'll go. Is Wavy Tone here? There he is. Okay, Wavy Tone. Got Riva and Zephyr ready. And really quick, for those who are looking to get roster reviews, make sure you go up here and go to channels and roles and click down here on the ping to be roster reviews, so that way you don't miss out on us doing roster reviews anytime that we do them. All you have to do is just click that button. Here, we'll make this smaller so I can move it around easier. You just go down here and you click this button and you'll be pinged every time I go live for roster reviews. Then if you ever get your roster review and you're just like, okay, I don't want to be pinged for this anymore, you just click it again and it's gone. So make sure you click that if you didn't get a roster review today and you want a roster review, so that way you never missed out. Okay, Wavy Tone. Got Riva and Zephyr ready. I'm going for JMK, putting Zetas on my Night Sister. On my Night Sisters, while Shard fired for Bo-Katan, I still worked on the other ships with the last new progress being a little higher. I also unlocked Ben Stolo, Dr. Dre, and Malicos are the next conquest, and also working on my Zepho mod. Sounds like you got a kind of a lot of small projects to work on. Obviously, your big project is going to be going into Profundity and Leia next, and then perhaps JMK. Your Leviathan is definitely important, and I think that should be on your upcoming, on your next couple of things that you should be doing. Overall, I like your kind of farming path. I like what you're doing with your roster. I would really like some time, dude. I feel like you need some time to finish some of this stuff in your roster. Like you have a Cal Kestis sitting here with a Zeta and Omicron, Ahsoka Tano with a Zeta and Omicron. You know, you got the Seer stuff going because Zepho ready. So you kind of have a Seer team going. You're about to get Malicos. And so like taking a couple month break, I think is a solid idea. Like you're kind of doing this Bo-Katan, you're working on the Leviathan environment in the background. I think taking a break and getting this stuff up, getting a Relic Savage, especially, I'm guessing you have it up here somewhere. Yeah, you have the Triumvirate, so yeah, getting your Savage up for that. You already have a Gear 12 Savage. Bring him up to Relic level takes almost no effort, and you instantly have a great team on defense or offense. You know, you have the Sith Empire kind of sitting in your roster. You have a Ufu team sitting in your roster. So I definitely think some cleanup is definitely called for. How far can you go in the Fantastical Devotion Assault Battle without Reva? Challenge tier 1, basically. With the code Supreme6, you can get Supreme Gaelic, a Void Champion. Yes, in fact, I have a video talking a bit about it planned. Ooh, okay. But yeah, I think cleanup is definitely something that's definitely called for. Was that with Zetas, Cole? Because I don't like have any Zetas for that team, and so I could only do challenge tier 1. The one problem with the Supreme Gaelic thing is it's new player promo code. So like you either get that or you get Sun Wukong. And so I have to go see if, you know, Sun Wukong or Supreme Gaelic is better, because I do like I think it's Ultimate Gaelic that I have. He's solid, but I don't know anything about Supreme Gaelic. I was waiting on Savage because of 3. Yeah, that's fair. Your mods are looking a bit rough. Definitely need some work. You mentioned getting Zepho mods, and I was like, that's interesting. And it's because your mods overall could use some work, so it makes sense. Take a look at your GLs. Looking good. Could use some more speed, but looking good. Right in that threshold. Solid mods. Over 500. We'll count that as 10,000. Yeah, so your mods need some work, but you're working on them, so solid. Okay. Make sure you're working on your Star Fortress and your Comeuppance, to your Hyena Bomber. Yeah, make sure you're at least having 2 ship farms at any given moment. BTLB, yeah, you're missing some stuff. You've got some stuff finished, but you definitely need some work in some other ways. Have a great night, Heinricher. But yeah, I don't think Leviathan in the background is a bad thing. I think you have some cleanup that you harshly need to do, though. Yeah. Oh, that's rough, Wavy. Is Cole still here? Okay, Cole. You can switch this out to a health mod. Even if it dips your speed, you want to shoot for about 500 speed for Sith Eternal. But if you need to dip it a bit, just to drop a health mod on there, I would. Nice speed on that Mara Jade. First Order Officer faster than Hux. Captain Rex over 300 speed. Not quite. I'd like to see Captain Rex over 300 speed. Looks like you have a pretty good idea who should be fast. I'd like to see your Han Solo faster. Yeah, your Han Solo definitely could use some speed as well as your Jedi Knight Revan. It looks like the top side of your roster is looking really sexy, and you've got some really solid mods at the top. But I feel like there's a big drop off, and there's quite a few characters that are down here that are going to be characters that could really use speed, and they're kind of just sitting down here hanging out. Like this Bosch Leia, as you go for Jabba, you're gonna need to be 330 speed, and that's no mods. You need to start putting refreshes into mods. Any mods are better than no mods. I want to see some mods, especially a character with a Zeta with no mods is wild. So put a couple refreshes into your mod energy, my friend. You get Mandalorian and Zephyr rewards at the end of the phase, not at the end of territory battle. Okay, good, cool. That's solid. Okay. You're going for what right now? Cool. Playing since late May, mods are something I'm working on every day, but due to like work on Jabba and JML and then Profundity, need to farm up some ships as well to round out light speed models. Yep, so make sure you're always having at least 2 ships going at any given moment for farming. Going for Jabba is definitely the right way to go. As soon as you get Jabba, I'd like to see you finish like a Jedi Knight Revan, finish your Marin. You have the Executor, right? Before you get Jabba, I want you to finish your BAM. Both mods as well as Relic. Mods and Relic on BAM. And then get Jabba, then finish your Marin, finish Jedi Knight Revan. And then at that point, if you want to do JML, sure. I'd probably actually suggest Rey first, because you are literally just the Relic levels for these 2 characters away from finishing, and Relic 7 Rey, obviously. But you already have the 3-star Zori. You can drop the Zeta on Finn and have an amazing Finn team, and you'll get a GL and a top meta defense team all in one go right here. And so I probably would suggest this. Bosch Leia. Cartel. Bosch Leia has no mods and has her Zeta on her. But yeah, I think you're definitely needing those 3 times mods. Make sure you're working on your fleet, your tanks for sure. Honestly, I would probably do Jabba, then Rey, then JML. Just because Rey is going to get you 2 really solid teams. And then you can just push right into JML and it won't be too hard to do, but you're closer to Rey. So I do the Rey first. Just make sure there's no one hiding down here. Too often that I find hiding people down here in an account like this. Okay. Doesn't look like there's anyone hiding down here that I'm like losing my mind over. So. Just remember, Cole, any mods are better than no mods. Always remember that. Any mods are better than no mods. I don't care if they have 5 speed. I don't care if they have 3 speed. I don't care. Throw some mods. Even if they have no speed, throw mods. But yeah, I think this is just, you know, it's a story as old as time. Get your Jabba, get your mods under control, and get your fleets under control. Like, that's kind of what you're looking at when it comes to most Lightspeed bundle accounts, and you're kind of firmly stuck in that. The mods are a little scarier than most accounts that I see in like in a roster like this, and so definitely focusing down those 3 times refreshes is for sure important. But yeah, Jabba, Rey, then JML would be my order of operation. Okay. I gotta get going. I haven't eaten anything, and I need to go get some food. Thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to those who contribute to the Beaver Dam. You guys are awesome. Big thanks to our damn sugar daddy, as always, as well as our damn elite. You guys are amazing, each and every one of you. We'll have more content coming for you guys soon, I promise. I'll be setting up a couple fun things here very, very soon, as well as maybe some gameplay with Beaver Brother over on the members only streams, doing some fun stuff over there as well. But you know, we'll have a damn good time, as well as if any of you want to help contribute to the Beaver Dam and you can't contribute financially like these wonderful people right here, don't forget, each month we do a sponsorship where all you have to do is play a game, and we just play on stream for 3 hours. You join me and we play, and so you can go to the Discord and join the Dam supporters under channels and roles, and we'll just ping you every time we do one of those, and you can help out that way in making this a full-time gig for me so I can get more content out to you guys. It has been rough lately trying to balance my job as well as my multiple channels, but we are starting to equalize, and I'm hoping for a lot of content coming very soon to you guys. To check a store near you for Beaver Dam merch. No, that'd be awesome. I wish, but no. We'll have more content coming to you guys. We're gonna see if there's anyone that we can raid really quick, because we always love to keep the party going. I'm sure there's someone on Twitch that we can drop in on. There's always someone on Twitch. Fun fact, last year there's 2.7 million people that streamed on Twitch last year, so it's not at all surprising when someone's streaming on Twitch. Looks like we got a couple different people. That person is speaking Spanish. Look for an English one. Looks like someone's hanging out with Bones. Let's go ahead and start a raid with this guy. It looks like he has a beautiful beard. So give him a big damn hello from the Beaver Dam. And over on YouTube, let's see what we got here. On YouTube, is there anyone streaming? There is. It looks like Troopers on Break is live right now, so we will pass you guys on over to Troopers on Break. Give him a big damn hello from the Beaver Dam, and I'll see each and every one of you in the next video. Goodbye, Twitch. And for those of you on YouTube, goodbye, YouTube as well.